Sawasdee good morning, and thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and on NBT World. It's Monday, October 20th, and you're with me, Surapan Lautharanarit. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has ended his trip to Milan, where he attended the 10th Asia-Europe meeting, or ASEM summit. The Premier deemed his trip a success, following ASEM leaders' better understanding of Thailand. On his last day in Milan, the Prime Minister attended an informal seminar to deliver the speech entitled Promotion of Dialogue and Cooperation between Asia and Europe and Plans for ASEM in the Future. General Prayut said in addressing global threats, it was necessary for Asian and European leaders to show strong determination in order to boost confidence. Thailand had been actively addressing global threats by hosting a leaders' meeting on SARS and donating rice to the Ebola-affected countries. General Prayut also talked about the situation in Thailand, saying Thailand adhered to democracy and respected human rights with commitment to good governance, transparency, and accountability. He affirmed the government was now reforming the country so that democracy in Thailand was strong, with approval from Thais as well as the international community. After that, the Prime Minister attended bilateral meetings with his Lao and Vietnamese counterparts on trade and investment cooperation. During his meeting with the Indian Foreign Affairs Minister, General Prayut commended India for its exhibition on development philosophies of the Thai King and Gandhi in celebration of His Majesty the King's birthday anniversary this year and long-standing relations between Thailand and India. The Commerce Ministry is pushing ahead with more measures to control goods prices in order to help lower the cost of living of Thai consumers. Commerce Minister General Chatchai Sarikalaya said that the Commerce Ministry has been working with related agencies to push prices of consumer goods down. Among various measures employed are the Blue Flag Project and the Returning Happiness Ready-to-Eat Food Shop Project, which sell affordable meals to consumers. He said that so far all projects have been well received, while the ministry continues to introduce new measures, some of which are expected to be unveiled before the end of this year. When asked about Thai exports, General Chatchai said that it is essential for Thailand to maintain existing markets while exploring new ones. He went on to say that in order to make all Thai product standards internationally recognized, 62 Thai trade representatives from 43 countries have been invited to a brainstorming session to discuss the problems faced by Thai products in various countries. The planned meeting will also be joined by representatives from the private sector. The National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, is scheduled to meet on Wednesday to approve the nominations of two key positions for the judicial branch. NLA President Pornphet Vichit Cholachai said that all members have been invited to a sitting on October 22nd when an important agenda has been set. Mr. Pornphet said that the upcoming meeting is set to approve the nomination of General Withawat Ratchatanan as the new ombudsman and the nomination of Mr. Disatat Hotrakit as the Secretary General of the Council of State. He added that the meeting will also be deliberating 5 draft laws in their second and third readings. In addition, NLA's second Vice President, Pirasak Phorjit, said that the legislature had to delay the decision whether to accept or reject the National Anti-Corruption Commission's recommendations to impeach former Senate and House speakers, as there remain a few legal issues to review, adding that a conclusion on this should be derived within November. The Secretary General of the House of Representatives has confirmed that the first meeting of the National Reform Council, or NRC, can take place as planned, even without its own meeting regulations. House Secretary General Jare Pan-Preung, who acts as the Secretary General of the NRC, said that the first meeting of the Reform Council on October 21st has been scheduled for the election of an NRC president and 2 NRC vice presidents. Before the election process, all NRC members will be taking an oath of allegiance after they have received the royal endorsement for the appointment to sit in the council, with Mr. Paron Isarasena Na Ayutthaya, who is the most senior NRC member, performing the role of the chair for the day. Mr. Jare insisted that even though the NRC has not drafted its own meeting regulations, the adoption of the NLA rules will ensure that the selection process will be fair and transparent. He went on to say that after the selection of the president and the 2 vice presidents, the meeting will move on to discuss other issues, including the appointment of 2 members to the Constitutional Drafting Committee, which must be completed within 15 days from the first day of the NRC meeting. Since the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO, stepped in to put an end to political conflicts nationwide, it has spearheaded the setting up of the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, a new government, and most recently the National Reform Council, or NRC. How was the NRC formed and what role will it play? Here's the report.
The Provisional Constitution of 2014 tasked the NRC with brainstorming extensive national reforms in 11 fields, including politics, public administration, law and justice, local administration, education, economy, energy, public health and environment, media society, among other issues. The NRC comprises of 250 members, with 77 members representing each province, 1 member representing Bangkok, and up to 172 members representing 11 fields. The Election Commission was tasked with receiving candidate nominations from August the 24th to September the 2nd. 11 panels were formed for the recruitment of candidates from the 11 fields, 77 panels recruiting candidates from the 77 provinces, and 1 panel recruiting candidates from Bangkok. Each of the 11 panels consisted of 7 members, appointed by the NRCPO, from amongst the persons considered by the NCPO to be experts within the field concerned. Each of the 7 panels were then made up of 4 members, including the governor of that province, one of the chief judges of the provincial courts in that province who presided over the others, one of the chief of the provincial administrative organization who represented the sub-district community councils within the province, and lastly, the president of the Provincial Election Commission. The Bangkok panel comprises of 4 members, namely the president of the Council of University Presidents of Thailand, the president of the Civil Court, one of the clerks of Bangkok who represents the provincial community councils in Bangkok, and the president of the Bangkok Election Commission. By the end of the nomination period, 7,370 candidates had been registered. The EC then reviewed the backgrounds of each candidate before forwarding a shortlist to the National Council for Peace and Order, which then handpicked 250 members for a final shortlist to be presented to His Majesty the King for royal endorsement. On October the 6th, the Royal Gazette published an official announcement of His Majesty the King's royal endorsement of all 250 members. Although thousands of candidates were not selected, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has reiterated his intention to seek ways to include all candidates in the national reform process. By October the 15th, all National Reform Council members had reported to the NRC Secretariat to officially accept their appointments, and the Council's first meeting was then scheduled for October the 21st. in which the NRC was expected to select a president and vice president. The council will then operate a one-year timeline to work with the National Legislative Assembly to reform 11 fields before general elections can then be held. Thailand has come far from the latest round of political turmoils, which nearly turned a bloody 6 months ago. And while the road ahead towards a sustainable democracy may be long and winding still, the Thai people are as hopeful as ever as they move forward together on their united journey towards a better future. This is Katie Siri Singh reporting.
Commander of the 4th Army Area, Lieutenant General Prakan Cholayut, has emphasized that the local people in the southern border provinces need to take part in the process to bring peace back to the restive region. Lieutenant General Prakan said the 4th Army Area's policy in the southernmost provinces would focus on the local people's participation rather than deployment of Army personnel. The policy is in line with the government's strategies, which seek to gain access to the local people and satisfy their needs. More Army officers in the southern border provinces will be replaced with civilian forces, such as police officers and security volunteers. The Army officers who are responsible for security in high-risk areas will be assigned to help develop communities in line with His Majesty the King's Understand, Reach Out, and Develop guidelines. Mr. Wanchai Osukontip, Governor of Kanchanaburi, this morning joined more than 3,000 people, comprising local administrative officers, soldiers of the 9th Infantry Division, local people, and visitors at a merit-making ceremony to mark the reopening of the Uttamanusorn wooden bridge, better known as Sapan Mon in Sangkhlaburi district. The bridge was badly damaged by floods and runoff in July 2013, after which repair works were carried out mostly with the help of soldiers from the 9th Infantry Division and locals of Mon descent in the district. At the celebration, participants gave alms to monks on the wooden bridge. They also took part in a bicycle ride and mini-marathon from one side to the other side of the bridge. The Uttamanusorn Bridge, or Sapan Mon, is the longest wooden bridge in Thailand, with 850 meters in length. It is also the world's second largest wooden bridge after Myanmar's Uben Bridge. Due to its length, the bridge has become a popular tourist destination of Kanchanaburi. The bridge was first built in 1986 at the initiative of Venerable Luang Pho Uttama, abbot of the nearby Wang Vivekaram Monastery, and took 1 year to complete. The construction at that time was also completed by the workforce of Mon descendants to facilitate transportation across the Songkalia River. Officials in Koh Chang District, Trat Province, removed 8 vending booths encroaching on Ban Chayachet Village Road, reclaiming the space for public use. Joining in the operation were District Chief Pira Iem Sunthorn and Trat Navy Chief Lieutenant Manod Buntu and related officials, after the authorities have been informed that vendors built stalls intruding into the local road, a clear violation of the use of public space. The district chief stated that the operation followed several complaints made to the province's Damrong Tham Center. He said that the vendors were earlier given a warning to remove their stalls within 10 days. However, they ignored the notification, thus leading to the operation. In today's Now or Never segment, Dr. Yongyut Mayelab, the government spokesperson, will talk about the government's measures to stimulate the Thai economy at the community level. Let's have a look.
Welcome to Now or Never, the program that updates you on the achievements of the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO, and the work progress of the government. The current government is well aware of the economic slowdown since the end of last year due to previous domestic political turmoil, coupled with a global economic recession. It is also widely acknowledged that the economy this year will not grow as anticipated, as various agencies have forecasted this year's GDP to be lower than 2%. In response to this, the government will not be complacent and will take concrete action to stimulate economic growth at local level as well as at the regional level. Therefore, actions will focus on distributing development to different regions of the country, strengthening local communities, creating jobs, and increasing income in order to upgrade quality of life and education in local communities. At this juncture, the government has instructed each ministry to inspect their ongoing projects to see whether they have been implemented effectively, whether they need more planning or revision, or whether they have been endorsed and fully supported. This assessment is necessary in order to expedite disbursement of more than 100 billion baht of the fiscal year 2014 budget that will stimulate the economy for the remaining 3 months, as well as promote income generation. Meanwhile, the government will expedite the conclusion and signing of various small-scale project contracts all over the country within the end of this year. In doing so, a capital budget for fiscal year 2015 will be injected into the economy to create employment and generate income, particularly in local communities, which is vital to the objective of distributing income for provincial and rural areas. Additionally, the government will expedite the inspection of approximately 20 billion baht of the existing budget and related credit facilities that had previously been set aside but still unused. This money will be subsequently used to invest in infrastructure in accordance with the people's immediate needs, such as for renovating schools, irrigation systems, roadways, and community medical centers. This will also create local employment and increase spending, all of which will serve as another way to stimulate the local economy. Fundamentally, these aforementioned measures will be based on the real needs of each community in each region in order to be able to effectively assist farmers, laborers, and local populations. สวัสดีครับ
And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's take a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
The Institute of Public Relations has long been central to media training for members of both the public and private sectors in Thailand. For more than 5 decades, the Institute has provided extensive training courses for radio, television, and new media practitioners, as well as public relations professionals. It has also helped in arranging courses and seminars for other international broadcasting organizations. On the 20th of October 2014, the Institute of Public Relations celebrates its 53 years as the Public Relations and Media Training Center in Thailand.
Welcome back, and it's time now for the ASEAN and Beyond segment. Catholics in the Philippines yesterday had mixed feelings about the final version of a controversial Vatican document that had radically revised its earlier wording on homosexuals, eliminating language that had talked more positively of them than ever before in church history. The document, called a relatio, was issued at the conclusion of a 2-week assembly or synod of some 200 Roman Catholic bishops from around the world on Saturday. The earlier version spoke of accepting and valuing their homosexuals' sexual orientations and giving gays a welcoming home. The final version eliminated those phrases and most of the other language that church progressives and gay rights groups had hailed as a breakthrough. Some Filipinos accepted the Vatican's decision. Others are disappointed with it. The Philippines, with over 80% of its 100 million population practicing the Catholic religion, is generally tolerant with homosexuals, with celebrities coming out of the closet and transgenders holding their own cabaret shows. And now let's take a look at what's happening elsewhere in the world. The United Nations World Food Program, or WFP, and partners distributed 800 metric tons of food for 265,000 people on the outskirts of the capital of Sierra Leone on Saturday. According to the WFP, the distribution in the suburb of Waterloo has so far been the largest food distribution in the country since the beginning of the Ebola outbreak in West Africa. 708 workers were deployed to distribute rice, pulses, vegetable oil, and salt, providing a 30-day food supply for many Waterloo residents. The World Health Organization said on Friday that Ebola has killed at least 4,555 people in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, citing, however, with at least half the cases going unreported and a 70% fatality rate by its estimates, the true toll is probably more than 12,000. According to the WFP, for many families, basic food staples are out of reach as prices have risen by an average of 24% across the three countries worst hit by the Ebola outbreak. Australia's Foreign Minister Julie Bishop yesterday said the nation has reached an agreement with Iraq for its special forces to support Iraqi forces in their fight against Islamic State. Minister Bishop said with the deal, further details on how and when the Australian troops would be deployed were up to her country's military. Meanwhile, a suicide bomber killed 19 people and wounded 28 others yesterday outside a Shiite Muslim mosque in western Baghdad, where mourners were attending a funeral. The attack in the affluent neighborhood of Harthia was the latest in a surge of bombings that have rocked Baghdad over the last month, most of them claimed by Islamic State. A bottlenose dolphin, Sadie, gave birth on Saturday to her second calf at SeaWorld San Diego. The 40-pound bottlenose dolphin was born to Sadie at 3:32 p.m. at Dolphin Stadium after a 12-month gestation period, SeaWorld San Diego officials said in the press release. Trainers and veterinarians said the mother and baby appear to be in good health. Experts of the SeaWorld theme park, who are expected to monitor mother and baby around the clock, said the gender of the calf would be determined within several weeks. 13-year-old Sadie's first calf, named Kailani Koa, was born in 2009. The newborn dolphin marks the 80th successful dolphin birth at SeaWorld San Diego, according to the park's press release. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsin. And now we're going to say goodbye with a boat race competition in Surat Thani province. I'm Surapan Lautharanarit. Thank you for watching and have a great day. สวัสดีครับ